Hello folks, my name is Rojo, and welcome back to Dark Souls. So we're going to be doing things a little bit differently this time around. This is going to be a post-commentary episode because I had a really strange audio recording thing where like the top frequencies of my commentary got cut off. I guess my mic cable probably came loose and or some kind of bad connection. And that's why that happened, but it's okay. We'll have an opportunity to see things, or at least I'll have an opportunity to see things from a different perspective, and maybe notice some of my many mistakes. I'm sure there will be many of them anyway. But yeah, I believe we're swinging on over toward where we died, the lightning demons again. And I think we had the right plan last time, which was to try and use the bow to shoot that one guy off the edge. And I think that will make our lives a lot easier. I honestly can't recall exactly how this goes, so it'll be perhaps as interesting for me as it is for you. But it looks like I'm making the right move here, getting the bow ready to be brought out. And yeah, I'm not sure, well, I'm certain that the setup that we have, the Ring of Fog and the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring, like, I'm sure that's not like the objective best Dark Souls setup, but it's interesting because enemies don't behave quite as I expect them to a lot of the time, based on what I'm used to, as far as standard ring setups go. Like a lot of time people use like the Ring of Divine Favor or something like that, and there goes that guy. Nice. But man, I don't know, it's been really interesting. I'm curious to see how things go for the rest of the game. But going ahead and getting the aggro on this guy, and this is actually one of the things though, is a lot of the time enemies will lose aggro. Like this guy just shot him in the face and he's like, I don't really care. Should have known that was going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. These guys are a little bit difficult, I think, for our current setup, just because they're pretty quick enemies and they get knocked back a lot. And our weapon is really, honestly, one of the slower weapons in the game. Certainly not the slowest, but I almost wonder... Oh, wow. I almost wonder if the knife would be easier as far as these guys are concerned. Man, second time I get hit by that. Should really have learned my lesson by now, you would think, but no. And there we go. Yeah, just walk right into the spear, man. That's great. Great plays. At least I can dodge that. But yeah, I do wonder, like, I mean, the knife has such short range, and I'm guessing these guys would die probably before the bleed even mattered. Well, maybe not before the bleed mattered, but it'd be... I mean, they're not tanky enemies is what I'm getting at. But also, they get knocked back so far that I don't know if we'd be able to hit them consistently enough. Like, this guy is so much easier. I don't know why I couldn't do that to the other guy. But yeah, I mean, it would be difficult to hit them consistently, I think, due to the knockback. But at the same time, maybe we could just, like, boot them off the edge that much easier with it. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to try it, I guess. And yeah, last time, if you recall, there was an orange message right around this support beam that said sniping spot. And so I figured, all right, let's see if we can make this work. But I'm having as you can see, kind of a hard time with there's a lot of invisible geometry in Dark Souls. As you can see, my arrow kind of floating in the sky there just disappeared. But yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of the supposed sniping spot here just to see if I can make that fight down there, basically 100 times easier. Because two of those lightning demons at the same time it's a pretty big challenge. However, there's a problem. I took my ring off because I didn't want to de-aggro him. And there's an archer up there on the left that saw me and just whooped my ass. So I had to rethink my strategy a little bit. And I believe I decided to, yeah, put the Ring of Fog back on, because that shit hurts, man. I don't think you can get knocked off the edge just due to the walls there, even though there's quite a bit of knockback on those. But At least it hasn't happened to me yet, so I don't know. That's a plus, I guess. Otherwise, I definitely would have died there. Right now, I'm just trying to de-aggro the archer so I can go back down there without getting shot in the face. Because, yeah, this is one area where the Ring of Fog actually does make a pretty sizable difference. Like, normally those archers would see you a mile away, and they'd be shooting you while you're down there fighting those demons. And that's a tough encounter. But I'm trying to cheese my way through it a little bit here, as you can see. And I think right here is where I managed to tag one of these guys. Almost. Almost. Oh, boo. That was definitely a hit. There we go. So yeah, once you can get these, once you can actually hit that guy and get him out here, you can basically knock him off the edge. Because as you can see, like, my archery is fucking god-awful damage-wise. I need to get like a lightning bow or something, but my goal was essentially to do exactly what happened there and knock that guy off the edge. So I'm happy that worked out the way that it did. It's actually a good trick for that I didn't even know about for next time I end up going through the game here. This will be my, well, the LP will be my second full playthrough. My cleric character is the only character that I've actually like 100% played through the game on and gone a little bit into New Game Plus with, but yep. They can fly, man. Never forget. Except always you forget. But yeah, so this will be my second character going through the game. I did play another character fairly long into the game, and I actually, perhaps somewhat foolishly, spec'd, I don't even know, like, look, did you see that hit? That's bullshit. I wasn't anywhere near that dude's spear, and I still got tagged. But anyway, my build with this other character I got pretty far with was the Great Sword of Artorias, the non-curse version, and you need a lot of different stats for it, but I wasn't really doing the kind of damage I wanted, and it's that weapon is probably probably more slow than the Claymore is even. And I mean, the sword is intended for higher level characters anyway, so. Right here, I'm switching over to poison arrows because this is the trick that I was talking about last time. Rather than fight those guys on the ledge up there, which is like phenomenally difficult to do, I learned a trick from somebody else on YouTube, which is to get some poison arrows, and then you can just poison these guys with a few shots. I have a little bit of a hard time here at first, if I recall. Not only hitting them, but just kind of hitting them enough to get the poison going. I was actually a little bit worried about my arrow count. But once the poison sticks, you... I think I get tagged here. Almost! Ooh, yeah, it's so close. Yeah, he's smart enough to shoot back. But yeah, once the poison sticks, you kind of just wait it out. And I will... Oh, man. What a shot. I will make a cut, so we won't have to wait for the poison to tick by. Because it takes a while for it to happen, because it's so little damage. So it takes, I don't know, at least probably 2 or 3 minutes, I would guess, to get both of these guys killed with this method once they're poisoned. There we go. So that the counter is started. He's lost aggro. This will be a little bit more difficult without the fog ring. Oh man, I can't believe I got hit there again. The arrows, like, they home in this game, which is frankly horseshit, but I know that they do, so I should have been able to dodge it. But this is a good opportunity for me to once again prove that heal is a fantastic spell to have on your attunement slots. Except unless you're good at the game, I guess then you don't really need it. But for a player of average skill like myself, I think heal is a good choice, especially for now. Like, you saw that arrow curve, right? And that one too. Why can't I do that? That's what I would like to know. I think I have a little bit easier time with this guy, though. Got the timing down a little bit better, get a little bit braver. But yeah, you can see the arrow count is quickly dwindling, and these things are not cheap. But there we go. And man, oh, just being a pincushion today. But yeah, I'm going to make a cut. I think it's right about here. Oh, jeez, I almost got tagged again, too. That would have pissed me off. But there we go. So that guy on the right just died. The other guy on the left is dead. And you can see why I chose to go this route rather than be brave and fight them up here. because it's so easy to get knocked off the edge of the ledge up here. I mean, I've done it the hard way, but I don't recommend it. I really don't. It's so hard, and then you got to walk back, and it's just not good. I figured I'd take a little bit of a risk, you know, coming down here. I mean, it's not a huge risk, but there's always a chance that the camera tweaks out a little bit, or you just fat finger your controller or something and fuck it up and fall off the edge, which I was frankly, pretty super worried about. But luckily, I managed to get that. That's a pretty good item to get too. Soul of a Heroes. It's 10,000 souls in the bank, I think, which we'll put to good use, I'm sure. We do have our magic claymore, so the next step we actually are going to need a new ember for. And also some different crafting materials. So we got a little ways to go, but not too much, I don't think, depending on what we choose to do after we're done with Anor Londo here. But there we go. Safe at last. And I was actually debating whether or not, you'll see in a moment, I was sort of debating whether or not I wanted to go human in this area, because this is a really big hot spot for PvP. But I'm going to talk to Solaire here and let you guys listen to that, so I'll shut up for a second.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you. You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
Bow chicka bow wow. The Chosen Undead. It's gonna have a new boyfriend, I guess. But it's good to see a little bit of humor in an otherwise pretty bleak world, I guess, would be the way to describe it. And yeah, this is where I was debating. I was like, do I really want to spend the humanity and possibly get invaded? Because I will probably get my ass whooped if I get invaded. Just because sometimes people are just well equipped and high level, and otherwise twinked. But also, I'm okay at PvP, but I'm not blowing the doors off, and I am using a pretty slow weapon, which is, I don't know. I've had mixed success, I guess. I find the slightly faster weapons, like the one-handed, more typical one-handed blades, like the longsword or whatever, to be a little bit easier to use in PvP for me, anyway. But I've gotten my ass kicked by all types of weapons, so I guess anything could be successful with the right player. But the other reason that I kindled here is because I reversed hollowing is because I wanted to kindle this bonfire, because it's a really important one, because we're going to be finding a boss, not this episode, because we have a fair bit of exploration to do, a little bit more than I actually recalled last time. But yeah, so we're going to need the Estus, because we're also going to want to summon probably another player for the boss when we get to it. But yeah, I actually farmed up these Silver Knights for a while on my priest to try to get the Silver Knight shield, which is the shield that he uses. So I've gotten pretty good at parrying the sword guys. The spear guys still give me some trouble here and there. And I haven't decided exactly what I want to use for a shield on this guy, on Sneaks here. But it's got to be something. It's got to be something knightly or otherwise big and impressive looking. But I don't want to use an official great shield, because I like to be able to parry. I don't want to bash. I don't have any experience bashing, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to bash anyway. Yeah, these guys I'm a little bit better dealing with, although I'm not proving it so much. There we go, right in the dick. Very nice. And these guys actually give a pretty good amount of souls as well. Another thing I was farming for on my priest was a Silver Knight. I guess it's just a Silver Knight sword, because I thought I might want to use it. But no, I think the stats were a little bit too high or something like that. And plus you can't, I knew that I wanted to go Divine / occult weapons with my with my priest character, so I didn't want to invest all those other points into a weapon that I can't even upgrade into those paths. But yeah, that illusory wall message is good advice. You can notice that fireplace is strangely tall. Maybe that's just the way they all are in Anor Londo, because it's a city full of, I guess, supposed giants. But yeah, we've got some interesting stuff down here, actually. And we haven't actually met the character who owns this stuff, or at least once owned it. You can see there's a mimic there. Gotta be a little bit careful of that. This will be the first time we fight a mimic without the dagger, or like with something other than the dagger. So yeah, we're getting some items here which are used by a lot of players that I've seen. I think it's literally like the heaviest armor in the game. Havel's set. And I want like a knightly set of armor, but this isn't really what I was thinking. Plus, if we wore this, we would probably not even fat roll. We would just crunch onto the ground, and it would be pretty bad, because when you're wearing that without a specific item, which is on the owner of these items, you kind of just take the hits. You don't roll. You put your shield up and absorb it. But yeah, somebody was lying and saying there's a secret door there. I'm pretty confident that that's not the case, as you just saw. And yeah, let's deal with this mimic. You see, we're doing actually quite a bit more damage to these guys than we were with a knife, especially since I don't think we were getting any bleed damage on the mimic. So this battle, while perhaps somewhat epic, will be suitably less epic given our new weapon. Gotta be careful of that. Yeah, that grab attack is instantaneous death at our current HP level. I don't even know if armor will save you from that at all. But yeah, I was getting a little scared, being a little cautious. Didn't want to throw at the end like I've done so many times. A little bit too far away. Plus, the pillar may or may not have blocked the swing. I'm not really sure. Probably not. But there we go. One mimic down. Like, we could use our what are they? They some kind of charms or seals or something to make it easier and not fight the mimics and just get the item out of them. But I wanted to fight him, especially since you also get an item if you kill all of the mimics in the game, not including the ones that are in the DLC. And it's an item that we probably won't ever use, but I still like to get it. We also saw we got an occult club there, which is sort of interesting that it's with Havel's gear. You know, I can't remember exactly who Havel is, but I thought he was supposed to be like a good guy, like a pal of Gwyn and all that bunch, but the occult weapons are specifically designed to hurt people who are of divine status, such as Gwyn. So it's a little bit of an interesting situation. But that's just food for thought. I don't really know that much about Dark Souls lore, except for what I've been told by other people and what I've seen on other people's YouTube channels and that kind of thing. I read the occasional item, but certainly not everything. But yeah, we've got a couple more mimics up here. Actually, it's a dangerous area because, yeah, you can get invaded, and if you're fighting a mimic while that happens, that's bad news. It's never happened to me, but yeah, I can assume that it's probably going to end poorly for you unless you can finish off your mimic pretty quickly. And yeah, that guy was super easy to kill. Why can't they all be that easy? Of course, then he gives us silver coins, which are, as far as I know, totally useless. Except for maybe there might be some lore on them. I don't look at the coins at all. But unfortunately, we're gonna run into a similar situation with this mimic here, who is also hiding some, frankly, useless treasure, as far as I know. The other nice thing about our Claymore, man, is, as you saw there, is that we can actually stagger people now after a couple hits. Before, we weren't really doing that. Just checking out what's over here. I don't think there's anything. But it's good to explore, just in case. Somewhere there's a window that we can jump out, but it's not here, I don't think. Or it's not on this level. It's a little bit higher up in a different area. I was trying to get the drop on this knight guy, but he's a little bit too quick for me with his shield there. I was actually a little bit concerned about getting hit through the wall too, but there we go. Got the parry. Luckily, we can one-shot these guys. I think maybe just barely, but just barely is enough for me. It's a little annoying to like have to parry a guy and then wait for him to get up and then hit him again. So that's actually a pretty good haul right there. That's like two souls of the hero that we've gotten in one episode. It's a lot of souls that we can use for various things, probably upgrades. Because at some point, we will find a shield that we want to use, and we will find armor that we probably want to stick with, and we can upgrade our armor. It doesn't make as much of a difference as upgrading your weapon does, but, I mean, it's not a bad thing to do, in my experience. Like right now, we're wearing the Dingy set, or parts of the Dingy set anyway, from the Firekeeper, who was murdered by, what's his face? Lazzy something or other. I can't remember his name. The golden guy. Yeah, he owes us a Firekeeper soul, and we will find him. Not to worry. Not this episode, but maybe next or the one after, depending on how the flow of events go here. But yeah, we still get to keep her clothes either way, I think, which is a little weird, but it's a pretty good set. It's what my cleric wears. So yeah, if you're looking for a set that's not too heavy anyway, doesn't give you any poise or anything like that, the same way like heavier armor would, but it's got nice resistances, particularly to like curse and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to go with it. But yeah, there's a little bit of a sneaky trap in this next area. Just checking out the paintings and stuff. Not really sure who they're supposed to be, if anybody. Maybe just generic folks who used to live here. But you can see this guy's sword, just barely. He's just hanging out. But if you're not ready, that's a good way to die. There we go. I usually get the parries on the first or second try with these guys. Like I said, I killed a whole bunch of them, and I got excited here because I thought for a second that he dropped an item. Because I wouldn't mind having the Silver Knight shield, at least like for now. It's a pretty good shield. It's got really high stability, which is one of the key things we'll be looking for on whatever shield that we end up going with. And stability basically makes it so that when you block, you lose less stamina. So it's a pretty important stat. Yeah, I wasn't quite prepared for the shield bash from him there. I was thinking he was going to swing at me again, so I tried to parry him and it didn't work out. There we go. And this guy does drop something, but alas, it is not the item that I'm looking for. I mean, Dragon Slayer arrow, it's okay. I don't think we'll ever have the stats to use the Dragon Slayer Great Bow, so it's kind of irrelevant. I was curious if I could hit that guy through the wall, and he retaliated by hitting me through the wall. So that was fair. But mostly I was actually hitting the wall just to try to get him to come out. So it's kind of funny that that worked out the way that it did. There we go. Well done. Like these guys, man, I can kill these guys for days. It's just like half the other enemies in the game that give me trouble. It's not enough practice, I guess. I'm also looking forward to the day we can take the gargoyle helmet off, because I think that, I mean, it's something, but...
Whatever can be done. Ah, you again. Let me guess. Were you repelled by the Silver Knights? Ah, don't be ashamed. 'Tis the fate of vanguards like you and I. I'll think of something. We can overcome this together.
Yeah, the gargoyle hat, not a fan, really, mostly. Looks kind of silly in my opinion.
This is quite a fix. We'll need another 3, no, maybe 5 bodies. Quite a fix indeed.
I think our buddy Siegfried is overestimating or underestimating our capability and overestimating the capability of the enemy here. But there are 3 guys in here, 3 Silver Knights, so you gotta be a little bit careful, especially that guy, who I let hit me in the back for reasons I will never comprehend, but No matter. Easily enough dispatched. And there's our last heal. I mean, we'd be down probably to almost 0 Estus right now if we didn't have the heal spell with all the damage that I've been taking. So that's why I'm hesitant to give the heal spell up. It's just it's super useful. Said it before, I'll say it again. Keep saying it. That attack's a little bit harder for me to parry. I'm not quite as used to that one. They can be a little bit tricky with which attack they're going to use. They don't necessarily telegraph it super well all the time. But there we go. One guy down. We got one more left. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Took a couple swings at this guy just to see if, or I guess just one swing. I was trying to hit him just to see how long it would take to kill him the old-fashioned way, and the answer is too goddamn long, basically. But as you can see, yeah, this door wouldn't open before, but we've opened it now, so we have a little bit of a shortcut, which is nice. But we should go back and talk to Siegfried and let him know what we've accomplished here.
Oh ho! What's on your mind, friend? Wait, you defeated those monsters? Fantastic! I'm saved! This Knight of Katarina hereby commends you. Take this as a token of my gratitude.
And he gave us a ring.
Be warned. Gallantry entails great risks. Next time, give me a chance to come up with a plan.
Yeah. We'll give him a chance later, maybe. I actually didn't fully complete his quest, at least not in the way that I wanted on my priest character, so I'm going to try to do it on this guy. Hopefully we can make it happen. The ring that he gave us is not anything special. It's just like a little bit of an HP boost. We will probably never wear it. But, you know, it was nice of him to give it to us anyway, I guess. So that's something. But, yeah, at this point, we're basically just cruising back to the bonfire to sort of restock our supplies. I'm super scared about getting invaded now, because if you do get invaded, you can't rest at your bonfire, so it's real bad. But yeah, here we go. We're here. That's gonna do it for this episode. So until next time, my name has been Rojo, and thanks for watching.